Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about creating categories for tax purposes on MileIQ. If you are a gig worker, delivery driver, freelancer, or small business owner of any kind, categorizing your drives is going to make your tax season way easier for you and your tax professional. Categories don't just keep you organized as a gig worker, they also make your reports IRS and save you headaches when you hand everything over to your CPA, bookkeeper, or tax prep service. That said, not all categories that mileage tracking is required are going to be listed in your mileage tracker, so you will need to know how to create new ones that line up with your Schedule C, which is why we're going to be talking more about that and using MileIQ as an example. So in this video, we're going to be talking about everything you must know about creating categories on MileIQ, how it actually is for gig workers who are tracking their miles, and everything in between. But before we do that, let's go over a quick disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain and is never intended to be legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research and consult qualified professionals before applying anything you find online. I also want to be clear that everything that we're going to be going over is very market dependent, and what applies to me in my market may not apply to you. Also, keep in mind, I am using MileIQ to demonstrate all of this. If you haven't signed up already, make sure you use the link in the description to follow along, or if you don't already have a mileage tracking app at your service, make sure you sign up and save thousands on your taxes. Built-in categories overview. MileIQ comes with some built-in categories for more broader explanations of what business you were conducting. For the business side, we have customer visit, between offices, meeting, errand supplies, meals, entertain, temporary site, airport travel. These are solid choices for certain professions, but doesn't actually cover everything that gig workers would be doing, which is why there is going to be a custom category section. Personal mileage categories include medical, commute, charity, and moving. And while most personal expenses aren't tax write-offs, there are some things that would count towards your taxes. For example, the standard mileage rate for charity for 2025 is 14 cents per mile, while medical reasons can allow you to write 21 cents per mile. Moving doesn't always count as a mileage deduction, but if you are a member of the military, you can write off 21 cents per mile. Commutes do not account for any kind of write-off, but there are exceptions such as your home being your principal place of business, traveling to a temporary workplace, or traveling between two different workplaces. That said, there are sections in the business category for the latter two, and it would be wise to also capitalize on home office tax deductions so that way you are really maximizing your tax saving. Creating custom categories. The built-in categories are great and are necessary components for your tracker to notate specific activities that you conduct in your business that are beyond what most corporations will notate. As this channel is built for gig workers, however, let's use courier as an example. Courier work is not a default option and is very niche and accounts for a significant amount of tax write-offs for us, whether or not you're using the standard mileage deduction or using the actual expense method. So what you would need to do is create a separate mileage category for courier work, and when you have to categorize your miles, you can use that category.
But Joe, I only use the app to track my miles because I only do gig work. Do I still need to categorize them?
I would, especially if you do plan to do any other kind of work in the future. I didn't think I would need to create another category for mileage purposes, and then I started doing in-person sales, reaching out to potential clients for my DSB, and other sorts of work that required me to physically go places. That's up to you, of course, but I would consult with a qualified tax professional regardless to see what would be best for your Schedule C expense groups, because remember, the goal with categorizing your miles is to stay IRS compliant and to make things easier for your CPA and tax professional. If you're looking for a tax professional who is going to help you at DIY rates for gig workers, make sure to check out GigTax. As somebody who has ventured into self-employment via food delivery apps, the income is promising. That said, you're also faced with challenges in navigating taxes. As a self-employed person, person and transforming your gig into a sustainable business. GigTax was founded by Joseph Mayo, a seasoned gig worker with over 7,000 deliveries across 7 platforms since 2020. They understand the challenges of freelancers, rideshare drivers, couriers, online sellers, and gig workers of all kinds. Their #1 online tax preparation service is designed to help you maximize your tax savings and save you time, energy, and money. Enjoy exclusive discounts as well as a range of additional benefits such as electronic and estate filing, strategy sessions, year-round direct access to tax pros and financial partners, a client app and portal, as well as audit support. All absolutely free and incredibly valued benefits when filing with GigTax. Check out drivenwyld.com/GigTax and let GigTax simplify, educate, and support you on your tax journey. We are excited and looking forward to helping you secure your financial future. And with all of that said, back to the video.
You know, I use ChatGPT. It said to use the names of the companies, not just say courier work.
Hey, if you have such a short gig portfolio that this isn't a concern for you, go for it. I have a challenge being able to tell the difference between each delivery app I'm using, the routes that I'm working on, as well as balancing all of the multiple platforms within the mileage tracker. So I just use a broad category. This is important if you want to level up from being simply a food delivery driver to grocery delivery, package delivery, court document delivery, medical or pharmacy delivery, or much more depending on the type of vehicle you have. And in terms of using a broad category, it's easier for your tax professional rather than try to explain the different versions of your work, which is essentially the same thing, just on different platforms. That said, if you need to analyze and determine which apps are making the most for you and is actually good for the amount of time that you're putting out and the amount of expenses that's taking you, for you to lay it on paper and adjust accordingly, go for it. That is smart and you should do that. Regardless, if you are free to track however you want during the year, just make sure to check in with your CPA before tax time to make sure your reports match their preferred methods. Remember, when you work with a tax professional, you're kind of working as a team to help them help you by working with them, not just assigning them work. If you guys still need a mileage tracker, once again, the link to MileIQ is going to be in the description. Make sure you're really maximizing your savings throughout the year by working with the proper professionals and using the proper tools to save you the most amount of money during the course of the year. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to hit the like, subscribe. If you would like to learn more about some of these services and gig platforms that we have talked about in the past and are offering to gig workers today, make sure to check out my website, drivenwyld.com. And if you want to stay on the cutting edge of what's happening in the gig economy today and be in the know of what the most people are talking about, make sure to check out our new channel, Gone Wild Live Clips and Podcasts, where we take the live streams we hold on Thursdays at 9 and cut them down to more digestible clips and post them here. Also, check out my Patreon for more exclusive clips, full-length live stream replays, and other membership perks for more self-employed individuals who want to grow and scale their business. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and